Okay guys, so let's continue on this lesson where we're going to start creating our first project. Yes, I know this is what you've been waiting for. Let's get to it quickly. And then let's create our project. So as I said, you need the Visual Studio Code. You need it, I need it. Yeah, we're gonna open it, VS Code. But before you start opening VS Code, okay, if you've installed VS Code on your system, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this basic stuff. I'm gonna open my system, then I'll open to a drive. Okay, you can do it on your desktop, but I prefer on the drive. So I'll open it in this projects folder. So let's create a new folder. Okay, let's create a new folder. So that is the first thing you're gonna do. I'm gonna create a new folder, and then I'll name it first website. Sorry, I'll name it Webdev101 here. Good. So I've created a folder called Webdev101. You also have to create that same folder. I open it and I'm not going to create a web folder. If you have installed Visual Studio Code on your computer, it should have this here. When you right click on this in this empty folder, you should have this open with Visual Studio Code or open with code. Okay, good. So I'm gonna right click. If you don't have Visual Studio Code, download Visual Studio Code and install it, as I've already discussed in the previous video. So I'm gonna click here, open with Visual Studio Code. Let me redo the action I did again, as I guess some of you were distracted. Let me close this. Good. Now in here, I'm going to right click here, okay, in my webdev folder, webdev101 folder. Then I'll right click, then I'll go to open with code. Okay, so I click that one, it will open Visual Studio Code within this folder. That is where we are going to be working. So you can see the folder shows up in Visual Studio Code. That is Webdev101. The current version, I'm using the current version of Visual Studio Code. So I think you would have to go here. Yes, I trust this authors. Okay, good. Now we are going to start creating our project. So the next thing you're going to do is to click on new file, because we're going to create a new file, and a new file we're going to create is an HTML file, right? Good. So we click on new, and then we do this, the name, right, index. We are going to call the name of the, let me zoom in. Okay, so we're going to call the name of our HTML file, our website, index. Okay, index.html, right? Good. Then hit enter. All right, it doesn't open. Oh, it didn't work out. I don't know why. So let's say index, right? Sorry, it didn't work out. I don't know why it's not working out. Let's wait for some time to see if we create. I didn't. So do this. Okay, just close this one, just close this. Okay, sorry, just close this. Okay, if it is not working, just close this. So I close it and I select this one. I select this folder, right? I select this folder here, Webdev101. Okay, select, let me go over again, let me go all over again. After creating a folder called Webdev101, you open that folder, then you right click in that folder. Since you have Visual Studio Code installed, you open it, you right click in here, then you choose open with code. I will open the folder in Visual Studio Code. Good. Now you see this here, close this one, get started, close it, and then select Webdev101. that is your folder, and then with the first icon here, okay, this is used in creating a file, and then this is used in creating a folder. I hope you know the difference between a file and a folder. Good. A folder contains a file, right? Good. So we're creating a new file, right? So we click on file here, and then it's going to bring up this, then you type index we're going to call our file index dot. The extension, in the previous lesson we talked about HTML extensions. We told you that web document, okay, if it is in HTML, it ends with .html or .atm. So you type index.html or htm, okay, anyway it works, but we're going to do html. Then you hit enter. Good. Now you have your index file created. We need another HTML file. Yes, we need another file, not an HTML file. We need another file. We need a CSS file. We need a cascading style sheet file. Now a cascading style sheet file, it is the cascading style sheet, okay, that is a CSS file. It is used in styling or designing your website, okay. If in order to get a color, in order to get let's say you want to make a text red or blue, you want to get a background to be maybe pink or black, you can use the CSS in doing that in HTML. So the HTML serves as, just as I said, just the skeleton or the structure of the website, and then the CSS is used to design the website, okay. Yeah, good. So let's create another file in that same folder, okay. Then you click on this here, and then you type style dot. You can give it any name, you can call it main, but I'm calling it style here. So style.css here, style.css here. Then I hit enter. Okay, good. Now I'm going all over the process again, okay. So I'm deleting this file here. I'm deleting this file. Let me delete it. Okay, let me delete this one also. Good. Now the process, this is how the process goes. Like, you click on this folder. The moment you click, you expand it, you expand the folder, you see this icon which creates new file. You click on it, you create an index.html file. All right, good. That is it. Then you hit enter. We are done with our index.html. Now we need to create another file called style.css that will contain our CSS content. So I'll click on file here, and I'll say style.css, okay, to create our CSS document. I hit enter, and it's being created. Good. Now let's come into our index.html file here. Now, as I told you, since we are doing since we are doing a absolute beginner course, we wouldn't be using auto complete feature. I would just be typing everything. I'll hard code everything, okay. Good. So we are creating an HTML document. So as I said, the basic HTML will say doc type HTML, right? Good. For the sake of you being a beginner, that is why I'm typing everything from scratch, okay. Yes, as time goes on, when you after building the first project, after the first project, the other projects we will just be doing the autocomplete feature. I'll talk about the autocomplete feature later on. So the doc type HTML, and then we type HTML here. Good. So you see the autocomplete I was talking about. It actually, whenever you open a tag, you need to close it. So it's being closed, right? Good. So you can see I'm spacing it out so that you see we have our HTML here being closed. Good. And now now that we are done with our HTML, we need to create our head, right? Good. We need our head. You see, whenever we open our head tag here, okay, whenever we open our head tag here, we close our head tag, right? Good. Now we need a title. So you hit tab key, then you type title. All right, so less than, greater than, so title here. So the autocomplete feature in Visual Studio Code is actually working out. So IntelliSense or whatever you call it, we'll talk about it later. And we give the name, the website here, we call it Webdev. The title of our website is going to be Webdev101. That is our first project. Good. So we are done with our head. So we typed doc type HTML. We created HTML. We typed the HTML here. The same thing. We closed it. Then we open the head tag, and then we close the head tag. and then inside the head tag we place our title, right? Good. So the next thing we're going to do is to start creating content, the content inside the website, okay? The content that is supposed to be visible in the website. So let's save it. Whatever you do, save. So Control S to save, okay? Save, yes, Control S to save. Or you can go file, then you click on save, not save us, save, okay? Good. Now that we have our HTML here, we need the last thing, another thing, we need the body, right? Body. So we open our body here, then we close our body. So you open the body and then you close it. You see, I'm spacing our HTML document because I want you to see the structure well. Good. So let me comment here. We'll talk about comments. We talked about comments in the other video. Now I said comments, they are not being read by the browser, okay? Whenever a program is being run, okay, or an application is being run, or website is being run, when it gets to the comment, it doesn't read the comment, okay? It's the browser or the website that you created, okay? When the browser is running your website, when it gets to a comment, it assumes your comment is not real, it's not there, okay? Good. And then it skips it. So we're going to do, so this is how we create a comment. This is how we create a comment. So you do less than, exclamation mark, and then dash dash, and then another dash dash, and then you're greater than. So here we're going to say title of our website. Good. Everything you do, Control S to save. That is the best practice for you. And then we come into our body. The source code will be visible on GitHub for you to get and then reuse anytime you want. So I'll make it available on GitHub. So if you don't have a GitHub account, please create one. Okay, visit github.com, github.com. Though I've already placed it in the link, you do it in the description. So just get it. GitHub and then Stack Overflow is good for you. Okay, go to this website, stackoverflow.com, right? And then and then github.com. Go to this two and create an account there. Okay, good. So now that we have our body here, we are going to be working inside our body. We are going to be working inside our HTML body. Now before we continue, you can see there are spaces here. Okay, you can see anytime I'm typing, there are spaces here. So let me create a paragraph tag. Okay, let me create a paragraph tag. So quickly, I've created a paragraph tag, and let me type here, hello Lena, or how I say, okay, good day. Let me type good day here. Okay, so now you can see that this tag, okay, before this tag there's a space here. We call this space indentation. Now it is a healthy practice during coding, okay, especially web development, to make your codes organized. Okay, organized. Don't be spacing out your codes like this when you're creating real projects. Okay, it's because it's beginner code, that is why I've opened up the spaces so that you can actually get to see everything clearly. Normally it's supposed to be like this. You don't have to be opening spaces, okay, like this. Okay, but for your sake, that is why I've opened up the spaces so that you can see everything clearly. And I'm zooming in and out so that you can see well. Good. So now we have a paragraph tag here. Let's see if our website is actually working. So let's save it and then let's go to our project folder. So this is I'm in the project folder, Webdev101. Now the file that we created is the file that we've created, index.html, and then the CSS, style.css. These are the two files, right? This is what the browser opens. Okay, this is your website, and then this is the one that will style your website. We'll open this one. Let's open this one, the first one. Let's double click. If it is by default, my browser is set to Chrome. If you have Internet Edge, you can also open in it. So just double click to open. It opens in Chrome, and you can see here, good day, good. And then the name of our website, the title is not visible. Why? It seems our title is long, right? Good. You can see the title of the, if I point it to this one, yeah, point it to this one, you can see Webdev101 local or shared. It means that our website is available on our computer. That is why it is local. It is Webdev101. So let's get back to our lessons. Good. So let me clean this. We are not going to need this one. Okay, now we are going to create this. We are going to create something like this, a header with a nerd logo here. So the name of the company here at the left. We're going to have services here, contact, and then team. Right, these three, these are links. This is the menu. We're going to have a menu like this, and then we'll have the logo here. So let's get to it. Good. So now we need to do something very nice. We need to connect this file, the style.css. Okay, we need to connect this file to this file, index.html. We need to connect this to this. We need to connect this to this. So let me open Notepad so that we can get to understand things very well. No, Notepad, sorry. Paint. Good. I'm opening Paint application so that we get to understand things very well. Okay, so this is our Paint application here. So these are HTML, right? HTML .html or .html, right? And then we have .css, right? Our CSS file here. This is our style sheet. Now we need to connect this one to this. So this is our index.html, right? And this is our style.css, right? We need to connect this to this. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so let's come to website index.html. You click on index.html here. Then this is where you're going to link it. You place the cursor here, then hit enter. Okay, you're going to place it inside the head tab. That is where you're going to place our link. Okay, we need to write a code to link our style sheet to the index.html. Okay, so inside the head, this below the title of the website, you're going to type this style. We're going to do this less than then style. Okay, good. Style like this. Sorry. We're going to do this. Sorry. Now when this is not wrong. Okay, this is not wrong. When you do this, you are actually going to do the styling inside. Okay, inside the website. Okay, but we're not going to do that. I told you we have inline CSS. Okay, we have CSS. We have styling of a website that comes within the code and then outside the code. Okay, we are doing the one that is outside the code. So as I said, we are linking the style.css to the index.html. So straightforward, this is what you're going to do. Less than, then you do link, you type link, then you type rel. Okay, rel is another attribute. So we discussed attributes in the previous video, that an attribute is a property that we give to an element. Okay, I hope you get it. Then we made a scenario that I can stay here. I'm called Adenina. Adenina is my name, and then Adenina is my identity, right? So ID, and then we also discussed that when you have something like this, P, and then you say ID, right? In the previous video, and you say ID, let's say hello, right? Good. And then I did, let's say hello everyone here. Now we know that this is an attribute, right? An attribute that has a value what? Hello, right? Good. And then there's the attribute name. The attribute name is ID, and then we said that this attribute can only be given to this attribute ID. The value, okay, can only be given to this paragraph, right? Good. So the same thing, link, okay, link is a tag, it's an element, right? Good. So the link element, okay, has it has an attribute called real, right? Good. So real, now real, when you put the cursor on it, now with the intelligence or whatever inside the Visual Studio Code, it tells you that this attribute names is a relationship of the link document to the current document, right? So rel here stands for relationship. So we are going to create a relationship between style.css and then index.html. So I'm your teacher and you're my student, so our relationship, okay, that is the real, right? Now the relationship between the two of us is that we are all learning. I'm teaching you web development, and then you are also studying web development from me. That is the relationship. So what is the relationship between these two, right? Good. So the relationship is a style sheet. Good. So the relationship here is what? Starship. So you type rel and then you type style sheet. CSS is a styling sheet. It says cascading style sheet. We use it in designing. So after doing that, I told you, listen, an attribute, one person can have a lot of attributes. An element can have a lot of attributes. Okay, so you can have a name, you can have age and others, right? So a link can have a relationship and then a type. Okay, so there's an attribute called type, right? And then what kind of, now the type here, you see, the type here is the attribute name and then the value. So what value does it take? In order to connect index.html to CSS, style.css, okay, the type, you need to specify the type of document you are linking. So you need to tell HTML that, hey, I'm giving you a type of document, and then that type of document is a text, okay, and that text file is that text document, or that text file is a CSS file, right? Good. So that is what you do. And then the next attribute you are going to give is the location. Where is the file located at? You need to tell index, the browser, or index.html that, hey, the kind of file that I'm linking, this style of CSS, okay, it is located here or there, okay, so that it can be searched for, right? Good. So we use ref here, which is a reference, okay. Another word we can say reference, right? href here as a reference, right? Good. So we say, we type href, then we do equal sign, href equal sign, then double quotes. You see, the moment with Visual Studio Code, the moment you do this and then you do this, it brings you two files, right? Good. So we are going to go down and then we select style.css. It will bring it here, right? Good. The reason we are doing that is that when you open the project folder, they are in the same they are in the same folder. They are all in the same folder. Yeah, that is why we are doing that. So later on in our next projects, you know how to actually relocate things very well. So that is it. And then you close your link tag, right? Now the link tag doesn't have any closing tag. It doesn't have any closing tag. There's nothing like this. Look here. There's nothing like this, okay? It is wrong. There's nothing like this. Though it will work, but don't do that, okay? So it has this. This is it. This is how the link folder is. You type link rel style sheets, and then the type that is text slash css, and then the style.css, right? Good. So let's save it. Now that we've been able to come up with we've been able to link our project, I think we're going to pause here, and because we need to make our videos as short as possible, it shouldn't be lengthy. Let's move on to the next lesson, where you get to digest and then go through in building our next project, in building our project. So thank you. Let's go to the next lesson.